Good day and welcome back to the Student StarCraft AI Tournament's weekly broadcasts. And this week we have had a lot of updates because the CIG deadline just passed and most of the bot authors concluded that they could as well update their bot on the CI on our ladder. So while we were waiting a couple of months for the CIG results to be released, let us have a couple of glorious matches because, oh well, I might as well show you now. The leaderboard looks still like this with Crazy on top, then Ironbot overtook the Kudus again, and then the usual suspects. But as we look at which bots have been updated, it's Crazy, Howpan, Banana Brain, Random Hammer, Steam Hammer, Purple Wave, Kudus, and of course the newbies. But most importantly, or most interestingly, TSCMU Random with an update. That's very special. And then a couple of other bots still in development. So let's hop back into the game and let's see what we have here. As the orange Terran, we've got Crazio, the one and only, and Crazio is playing as the orange Terran. Crazio starting out with the usual floating barracks, then going for the wild SCV chase in its own main, couple of depots, and this is going to be a factory, while Ironbot is doing exactly the same bar the floating barracks, instead going for a couple of marines, which will of course cost some minerals, but will not impede it too much. Scouting SCV making its exit, but not before having scouted everything. Double factory by Crazio. Oh, and there he goes again. So, pretty well done. And Iron is doing exactly the same build, 2 factories. And Crazio going for a... oh, well, that's very ballsy. The first Vulture is on the way, and Crazio's got 2 of its own, and will now try and catch the Vulture of Ironbot, but nah, I think it hasn't really got the courage at this point to do anything about anything. So here we go. Stalemate for the time being. Worker-wise, dead even. Crazio, well, 2 ahead, so not dead even, but pretty much dead even. Supply-wise, doing pretty well, and oh, Iron going for a... oh dear, what have we here? Crazio with a ballsy move. It's almost like we see Ironbot play. And let's see what is going to come of this, because Crazio is not usually known for its aggressive play. Going to nab an SCV, yes, there it goes, and now has control of the high ground. That's pretty well done, especially on this map Jade, where you have this main base on the low ground, and then everything from behind or from the top is coming from the invaders. And Crazio not being as on point with the repairs as Ironbot used to be, but Crazio's got the contain block down. Interesting building placement, going for maximum side range, especially important on this high ground, low ground difference. Oh, and there comes Crazio with the raid leading the charge. Construction of this depot gets shut down, and now 2 Goliaths try to shut down the Vultures, but there are mines and there are too many Vultures, and here comes another raid. So 2 raids, and there is nothing coming. There isn't even a, oh dear, there is no what's it called? Armory! So there will be no Goliaths, and oh, the barracks only starts pumping marines now. Crazio starting a command center in the middle of all this and bringing more raids to the fore. The Vultures of Ironbot lay mines for all they can, but it's just not enough. The ground forces have arrived with a siege tank. Crazio with a beautifully tailored timing attack catches Iron with its pants completely on his last toenails. And that is how you play TVT. So Crazio much more aggressive. I hope it can bring the same game to the other matchups, because it is a sight to see. And I'm curious to see what the other bots have gained in the upgrades, but I say Crazio impresses me a lot. And you can see, well, there are a couple of SCVs, but still 4 raids overhead, no anti-air in sight. I'm going to call the GG, especially since the natural command center is up, and we have got lots and lots more games. Hey, next game we have got Purple Wave versus Banana Brain, and if I may be a bit slow though elated, that may be because I'm going on a holiday and therefore I'm recording this broadcast on Friday. So I'm a little bit tired, I've worked a lot, but also looking forward to the weekend, and well, we'll be stuck away on some mountainside, watching sheep or reading books or whatever. Just doing nothing, that's the general idea. And for now, I've had this one last opportunity to make a broadcast, and I was so happily surprised that when I came home, all the bots had been updated. I hadn't been checking the last couple of days, it was so busy. But now we've got Banana Brain versus Purple Wave. I'll stop boring you about myself, it's not really all that interesting. Purple Wave going for... oh, that's very nicely done, blocking the ramp. Always a good idea to keep your cards hidden from the enemy. And Banana Brain going for the weave with a handful of zealots, and they are being bothered by a probe. And I don't know if you are going to make such a lot of zealots, better do something with that. Meanwhile, Purple Wave going for a lot of tech. We've got the Citadel, so let me guess this is going to be the Templar Archives. Da-da-da-dum! And now, Banana Brain, what are you going to do? Because that's a lot of gateways, and this is a lot of zealots. Oh, and here come the zealots. That's always dandy. Army-wise, Banana Brain is... oh dear, is almost double, but the problem is that there are ranged units, namely goons, and cloaked units. Ta-da-da-dum! To Dark Templars, and this is going to be very bloody, unless there can be produced a form of observance. Oh, here we go. We've got the forge, a couple of cannons would be nice. This is going to be one probably, but some mobile detection would be a nice thing to have too. The Dark Templar are going to do things. Natural being started, no more Dark Templar coming up. That's should have some evaluation of that too, because if you see the enemy not having any units whatsoever, that can scout you. Oh, here is one more. So now 3 DTs, and you can see the army balance, although still in favor of Banana Brain. Ooh, this goon is a little bit dead. But here we go, Banana Brain going for the expansion, and these Dark Templars. The Zealots at this point aren't really the major concern, and if they are, you should tackle them a little bit more efficiently. And have we got... no, we still haven't got anything that detects with wings, namely observers. So that may be a bit cruel. And now Purple Wave's got the huge army lead. And hello, poor Mr. Zealot, you are going to... oh, you are already dead. So, unfortunate, but Purple Wave looking very strong. 2 cannons at the post. And there you go. That is how you play PvP. High Templar coming up. And of course... oh, sorry. There is the Rover Bay, and this might well be an observatory, but it will be very, very late. And 2 cannons will hold the Dark Templar at bay. Here comes the observatory. Small peak. Yes, there we go. First observer coming out. But the... good lord. I might have to use my mute button a little bit more extensively than I normally do. The observer is there, and wow, with some luck, Banana Brain clears the map. Oh, and there is a lot of supply in High Templar, but they are not really capable of shooting. So that's not direct fighting power, and Banana Brain seems to have somewhat stabilized, but we'll need to play pretty well to bring back the game from a 1 base deficit. And that is not even counting all these High Templars with their Storm! Yes, there we go, and another one. Oh, and an Archon. So that's pretty cleverly done, although you might back it up with some fighting units. Hello. Here comes the Observer. Have you got another one? Yes, and Banana Brain restarting the game, or trying to. Oh, that was pretty pro. If you wonder how Purple Wave knew the Observer was there, bots can see cloaked units, they just cannot target them, unless of course you target not the unit itself, but the general area where it is with splash damage, i.e. a storm. So here comes the Train of Death again, with a couple of Dark... no, the Dark Templars have been... oh, there is still one and a couple of storms will be there as well. And Banana Brain macroing for all it's worth, lots of Zealots, but we'll need to pick a couple of good engagements, and that preferably before the third of Purple Wave is up. Purple Wave rocking the match right now. That is a potent army. Small peek at the upgrades. We've got range for both, leg speed for both, Kaider and Tablet, that's Templar Energy, and Banana Brain will have +1. I find it strange. Oh, and Storm as well. Are there Dark Templars? Yeah, no, not really, but Arbiters. Oh, there is a Tribunal morphing, warping in, whatever. Oh, and a Dark Templar found the 3rd base, the Ninja expansion of Banana Brain. Banana Brain is running out of time because the main is getting very low, and here comes, oh dear, this is not going to end well. The Worker supply is almost double. The army supply is more than double. Here comes the storm, and storm in tight areas like this do so much damage, and more storm is to be had. But I think with 100 versus less than 10 army supply, this game is pretty much over. With the albeit a little bit slowly stopped DT play, I think Purple Wave did it this game, and slamming down those storms. Purple Wave looking in great shape, and that I think may be one of the good things that Cherry Pie is not partaking in CIG, that TSEMU and Purple Wave will be in that competition by themselves. And however much I like Cherry Pie, I think that having TSEMU and Purple Wave in the tournament is much better than just the one Facebook bot. So, GG, and this will be the last recommendation. Oh god. Who did recommend this and why? We've got Stone versus Ice Labs. And Ice, of course, is going to macro its silly little ass off. But there you go. Here we go. Worker harassment. First worker falls. There is no worker defense whatsoever. And this might be done pretty quickly. Stone is, strangely enough, not setting up. This is a wacky game. The SCVs are leave. Oh, they cancel the construction of the barracks. That's pretty good. This SCV getting a lot of construction time, and now the barracks is done, although the SCV dies. And Ice is still somewhat in there, but there is no follow-up from the SCVs. And that is a strange gimmick, and I think perhaps that's the reason why this game was recommended this week. That Stone normally does only that worker trick and then tries to exploit the enemy, and that's about it. But Stone, of course, is the precursor of Iron, and of course it has got, since a recent update about a year ago, all the functionalities of Iron by that time. The exact versions of either I wouldn't rightly know. And now it's Marines versus, a bunker. This can be, iffy if there weren't a siege tank, and the siege tank of course trumps a lot of vultures. Always good to see, and still the only bot using high ground. I hope that, oh god, what are you doing? Silly Ice, lifting the barracks, and these vultures could run by so quickly, and I think that if this were the latest Iron bot, they would run by, but Stone doesn't look like it's got this run-by mechanic that Iron does have. Natural up and running for both players. Ice is going to try and do this the old-fashioned way with a large lumbering army, but Iron is all over it, and you can see what the difference is between a modern bot and a somewhat older one. Iron is harassing the hell out of Ice at every instance. All the mines on the map, safe for this base and that one, and of course here is the expansion by Ice Labs. That is pretty well done, and supply-wise Stone is really rocking ahead with 40 versus not even 20. Oh, not even 40, there we go, 40. So this is going to be very hard for Ice to come back from, especially with the third overrun like this, and the third started uncontestedly by Mr. Stone. So there we go, Stone rocking up with the tanks, with the repair, overrunning the base, there you go. And this is just the start of this broadcast. The game so far has been pretty good. And before we delve any deeper into the map, which is the recently updated roster on our beautiful server, there we go, look at all the vultures go. This is good game, and Ice, I'll suffer you the further ignominy of being defeated, and we'll hop into the next game. It's Starcrusher versus Wombat, and these are two of the best bots of the Gold project from Delft this year. And pardon me for speeding it up, because I have got about 8 other top games lined up, and they are a little bit macro heavy, so perhaps we will need a lot of time to marvel at all the beauties about to unfold before our eyes. Now, Starcrusher, starting out with a nice SimCity, albeit not on the low ground. That might just be the map. On the high ground this would have been beautiful. And Wombat is going for a push. Army-wise, Wombat a little bit ahead. Might have something to do with not building 5 cannons. And of course, Goons versus Zealots, but there is no micro, it's just the A move, and Well, if you don't micro your goons, then it will pretty much look like this. Well, there is an attempt at micro, but it's not really successful. And StarCrusher is going for the expansion, while Wombat is not. Wombat relying on goons, small peek at the upgrades, range for Wombat and +1 armor starting for StarCrusher. StarCrusher going for the Scout, and have we got any kind of cool technologies? We've got a Stargate, that's pretty cool. And probe-wise, it's pretty much even, although I think that StarCrusher will push ahead a little bit. And this is, of course, a perfect line of defense. The goon dies immediately, and the Zealots should be thinking about moving up to the high ground to do something about those goons. But, oh well, although a little bit hesitant, they are able to do so at last. And now it's a 2 versus 1 base situation, and StarCrusher is still making probes. So this will spiral out of control really fast, and of course the goon micro by Wombat is not as good as we have seen from the top bots. Then again, these coders in small groups of 5 or 6, I believe, they have been at this game for about 2 months, and they have learned the game and the coding with the Go language from scratch. So you shouldn't really measure them by TSMU or Purple Wave, what we just saw. But still, I think that StarCrusher has the more robust build order and micro. That said, Wombat has got a lot of money. Is he building anything? No, Wombat seems to have fallen asleep, while StarCrusher is... oh dear, Wombat's just crashed apparently. Very unfortunate, while we are getting a lot of cannons from StarCrusher. And oh, here come the goons again. That's good to see. And now StarCrusher is going into some heavy tech. Oh, and carriers, hello! That's always good to see. And now Wombat is going for the expansion. Oh, they just need a little bit of a breather to regain their composure and set up for the next wave of attack. Now we have 1 carrier, small peak. Yes, we've got the interceptor upgrades. And if you can see what amount of upgrades StarCrusher is pushing, that's really obscene. Supply-wise, they're dead even, and that is without... oh, just come operational with a couple of probes mining. And here come the carriers, probably, or not. But I think with this cannon line and this cannon line and these cannons on the low ground and these goons being microed as they are, sometimes they apparently not even fire properly. Wombat is in for a bit of a shock if it's going to try to stay in this game very long, because we've already got 3 carriers and a large army, but oh, here comes Wombat. And are the carriers coming? No, the carriers are not coming. So it will be a muddle of goon versus a huddle of Goliaths and Zealots they are called, I believe. And now the goons are in sufficient numbers to do significant damage to the Zealots, and the Zealots somewhat die. But here comes the carrier. Just the 1. Oh, the 2. And there are 3 more over here, but they are not doing anything, and no 3rd base yet. But as there are only 2 goons, yeah, you can see how this goes. But the goons do target the carriers themselves, and not really... oh, we've got 2 colors of observers here, I believe, or just the 1. Okay, well, the other carriers coming too, and will the other carriers... oh, and an arbiter. So basically there is a lot of potential, but they're a little bit sluggish, and you can see the APMs where ordinary bots would score 10, 20, 40, 55... bleh. A lot of APM. These bots keep it relatively modest. StarCrusher only using 36 at the moment, and that is, well, very well done. Meanwhile, more carriers rocking up to the 4. No 3rd base yet. That's very weird. I think, well... perhaps it wasn't really needed because all the bots were about a little bit rudimentary, I'd say. Oh, and an interceptor stasis, how cute. And oh, I think that these carriers will retreat when their shields get too low. I don't know why that is. But here come the invincible Zealots, and they hammer everything down into the ground with their puny little side blades. And that pretty much was the game. No 3rd still. And all the carriers on the home guard. But StarCrusher looking a little bit better than Wombat at the moment, and I think that is going to be... let me see if it's going to find the natural. Yes, you can always count on AIs to do something. Oh, there we go. And they find the base, and I think that's going to be the game. So, GG. Next game up is Howpan versus Steamhammer. Both bots got an upgrade, so let's see what they're going to do. Howpan, of course, being based upon the Iron Bot, and well, that's a tough starting point, but if you master it a little bit, you've got great material to work with. Now, Steamhammer by J. Scott is, of course, a masterpiece on which so many bots have been based. It's not even, I'm not even going to try and remember 5, but it's more than half of the newly built bots of the last year, I believe, so it's pretty impressive. But Steamhammer itself is a force of its own and will fight to the utmost. Now going for a lot of Zerglings, and more Zerglings, running in and out. That's unfortunate, but yeah, losing a lot, that's how you lose a lot of Zerglings. And the drone count is a little bit downish, so that's unfortunate. Here comes the lair though, and will we have, no, we will not have a another base. And Howpan still on one base, so going to slow down a little bit. Lots of workers caught up in defense here. And if Steamhammer doesn't lose all that many workers, Zerglings all the time, it might still be okay, but I'd really like to see what's going to come next. The worker count increasing steadily, that's good. One or two, oh, one sunken over here, that's also good. And Howpan is, what's it doing without an army of whatever? It's very strange. And now the Goliaths take the map, and well, it's hard to get by with Zerglings versus just pure vultures. And here comes another base, and I don't think that's really the right place. But there is another drone positioned over here with a double expand, that's good. And maybe build some mutas on top of that to counter the vultures. Nice bit of SimCity-ish thingy going to happen here. The first muta coming out, and we've got 3 mutas, but they are not really. Oh well, they are, but they are sort of stuck. Well, exactly stuck right over here, and I don't know why that is. Could be much better employed over here. There is not that much anti-air. And that's pretty weird. So no third base after all, and the middle base is in a little precarious position. So Steamhammer is not really, doesn't look to be in top shape this game. Here come the mutas though. One keeps getting stuck over here, and this is a hard lot to watch. I'll tune this down just a little bit more because it was a little bit loud on my ears. And immediately when the music is quieting down, it's a lot beautifuler game to watch. So, notwithstanding there not being awfully many mutas, they do a little nice bit of damage. All the lings die again. And the third is somewhat operational, so that's okay. The vultures over here get killed slowly or just ignored when they are almost dead. And I don't know what the hell is going on. Natural up and running-ish for Howpan, but there are a lot of mutas overhead, and that's going to be a little bit of a problem. There you go. There you go, there you go. Lots of mutas, and Howpan really needs to get an army together. It's got a little bit of an army, but lots of that in vultures, some in tanks, some in Goliaths, medics, a couple of marines. It's all very split up and not really. Oh dear, here we go. And just one sunken might have dealt with this sublimely, but okay. Well, the vulture micro isn't all that. It's not really like washing iron. It's but of course it takes a long time to master a complex product like Ironbot and give it a twist of your own. I think that Steamhammer might be okay, but this third might screw things up royally, because once iron gets going, it will be terribly hard to stop it. And oh, here comes the macro from Steamhammer. The third base is untouched, and that's strange because it's such a strange position to take that third base. Ironbot teching up like a madman, but the army supply. Oh, it's not Ironbot, it's Howpan, of course. I should not be confusing them all the time. Howpan has got 40 army supply, a little bit up on Steamhammer. Steamhammer, though, has got the 4th base operational and the 5th base already started. And, oh dear, we've got an Ultra Cavern as well. That's pretty pro. And although the building placement could be a little bit more... Oh, here, that's also an interesting position to take another base. So all the bases will be taken, and Ironbot last time for me. I'll wrap myself on the wrist if I do that again. But Steamhammer hasn't really got a large army, so that's a problem. And also some of their army supply is in Scourge, and as there are very little air units, that's not really worth it at this point, I feel. So a couple of probes getting lost, or more precisely killed by the vultures. This base is operational though, and this base gets overrun for Howpan. Hey, I did that right. Also should be praising myself when I do something right. So, yeah, there we go. Howpan with almost 50 supply. Oh, we've got an Ultra. That's pretty good, but it's dead. So that's unfortunate, at least for the Ultra. For the tanks, it's relatively good news. And Steamhammer's got a lot of forces, but they're not really operating in any kind of tight formation. So there's lots of skirmishing all over the place. Drones lost, kill a tank there, lose a muta over here, and it looks like Steamhammer has got the better of this game due to superior micro. The main for Iron is out-ish, and the Natural's up and running, but the third is not really at peak efficiency. And now it's just one base versus the map, and we all have seen examples of how that's going to end. And I'd say just watch the minimaps. You see that large hive mind go. There is something over here which is terribly interesting, but once that gets dissolved or the priority gets changed to saving this middle expansion, you can see the streams of units swarming across the map, and Howpan tries to do what it can, but there is just so much Zerg stuff. The production tab looks like this. Oh, and we are... did I see a Defiler somewhere? Must have been an illusion. Let's see. We've got the hive. Oh, we've got two almost dead wraiths over here. They are killing something on the ground. And, well, lots of Scourge too. We've got the Ultra Cavern. Have we got the Defiler Mount somewhere? No, looks like we haven't. And Howpan getting stamped at the ground by a lot of Ultras. And they've got all the upgrades. And, oh, no spells yet by Steamhammer. That's, well, might be something for the future. And immediately taking this base. So, that's the GG. Howpan not there where it should be. Steamhammer a little bit shaky, but getting there. Late game macro, certainly a good thing. Now, Brian Weber versus Egbert, and these two players are not really in the top league yet, but they are working hard, and I think that once they get their show together, that they might be good contenders. I took this game because both had posted an update, and the game was pretty long, so I thought, well, why not? So, Brian Weber starting out with a pool and a couple of Zerglings. Now, Egbert going for the marine thing, which it always does. And Weber is going for lots of workers of one base. That's a strange build order. Now going for the drone scout, or is it going to be another base? Let's go and find out. Hey, base. Very good. So a handful of Zerglings parading in the natural of Egbert. Egbert with the nicely spaced buildings. Oh, this one, this is a bit of a misser. And then we are going to see a factory. Yes, there it is. And this is going to be another barracks or another factory. No, it's not a factory, of course. It's another barracks. So lots of Marines coming up. And Academy, of course, is already there. We've got Stim. Oh, Overlord Speed. Hello. And a third base by Brian Weber. It's trying to emulate the Gambot style, taking bases all across the map. And also Proxy has been using that strategy to great effect. Now, Egbert, what are you going to do? Has got a large army, almost 30 army supply, while Brian Weber is trying to get by with just 7 and then throwing all the lings away, so effectively 3.5. Immediately Egbert feeling the room to breathe, taking the natural into its control as well, and the Hydra is flipping out like a madman. That's very well done, sir. So 3 bases, might be taking more, worker count relatively low for 3 bases. And here comes the Terran push. Oh, there is a lurker. That's very good. Oh, the thing though is that there is only one comsat. If there, yeah, there is one. So versus lurkers, it's going to be a bit of a problem. But there are tanks as well, so that might help fight off the lurkers. And now it's going to be lurkers and a lot of Zerglings versus a lot of Marines, which is always a good matchup. And this base is still untouched with another comsat. That's good. But there are so many lings and a lurker. Oh, that scandal's pretty much wasted. Oh, and straight for the main, that's very well done. There is a turret, so that might help with fighting off this lurker. This lurker is pretty well positioned on top of the ramp. If it just keep down, it would be in a good position. Now Weber going for something very interesting over here in the bottom left. And worker-wise, Brian Weber still not where it ought to be. It could be taking all the bases right now or do something about that natural-ish thing from Egbert. Egbert, well, doggedly macroing on from all the production facilities got. Building a couple of more tanks. Oh, but here comes the Hive, and the Hive gets beat down because probably there are upgrades. Looked like that army just melted. But then again, that might have something to do with the +1 and the stim of these Marines. So that's always a thing to keep in mind. That stim Marines 1-1 with medics are pretty good. So, wow, this army is really bloody crazy. And Egbert is sort of getting there. Brian Weber, oh, finally taking another base. But, oh, this lurker is doing all the honors in the middle of the map. That's really, oh, and finally dies, but yeah, not before killing about 20 M&M. And then the Zerglings tear straight into the siege tank. Lots of friendly fire all over the place. Lurker gets killed, and the last tank dies as well, so that's setting back Egbert's push by a lot, and 2 more bases taken. Drone population is at a respectable level now. We've got a Matrix tank. I hope you just saw that. I'm going to cast this game at a little bit high speed because after this I've still... Oh god, I've got such a lot of good games still. Oh, that science vessel, a little bit suicidal. And what kind of a weird place to take another base is this? That's pretty strange. But perhaps the nearest you could get to the minerals, barring the location picked by the command center. So now, Zerg on the march. Egbert with only 6 army supply because it's got no... Okay, that will explain why there is no income. And Brian Weber is going for the kill. The natural, or where the natural used to be, or if it ever was there, is overrun. Now there is a bunker still, and Egbert has 5 minerals left, so that's pretty good. And spending the last minerals on some kind of... Oh, not the barracks, of course you need that. So Brian Weber in full swing with a lot of units being built and upgrades all over the place. Still not as snappy as you'd like it to be, but it's getting there. And Egbert, well, had a good composition, but a little bit weak macro-wise. Not really as decisive as a Terran ought to be. And Brian Weber blocking its entrance to the main base of Egbert with a lurker egg. That's always good. And you can now see we've got 84 workers. We've got hatches all over the place in really strange locations. And this one is even weirder because it's just blocking the units in. Oh, and here another one. That's... there might be some... One day I will fathom the logic of this hatchery placement, I'm sure. And now the entire map is awash. But the pathfinding isn't really optimized, looks like, so... what the bloody hell are we watching? They are somehow congregating towards this area, generally speaking, but... they are not really moving as fluid as you'd like them to. And even that 90k APM can't do anything about that. So Egbert has given up the ghost. Let's hop into the next game because there are so many more good games coming. And I thank all the coders for their hard work, and of course I hope everyone is going to do very well at CIG. Of course only one can win, but for now I'm very grateful for all the great games I've seen yet. So Purple Wave and Crazio. Crazio, we saw a great game versus Iron with a very aggressive push. Will we be seeing the same versus Purple Wave? Purple Wave took out, who was it again? Have we got that? Oh, I lost it. Took out someone or other with a Dark Templar thing, and that was pretty brutal. Banana Brain, perhaps? I don't know. But Purple Wave won that game with brilliant tactics, backed it up with decent macro, but then again, you're going to need more than Dark Templar play and decent macro to beat Crazio, and that is something that should never be underestimated. Crazio, you can see doing a lot of one base again, and Purple Wave doing the same, so in a weird way this is the new standard play. Just get so much done of one base. Crazio now with 2 siege tanks, and this one is a little bit bugged out or whatever. But the goons do take some damage. We've got 3 tanks now. This tank still... well, it's an interesting position, but there you go. Crazio starting the natural as well. Purple Wave's got one up. It's not that bad as a Terran to be a 1 base behind. Shouldn't be too much though. So 1 versus 2 base, of course, is less desirable than 9 versus 10. But generally speaking, Crazio can do a lot of 2 bases. Getting the Siege show up with the upgrades, and well, Purple Wave can have the map for the time being. There are a couple of vultures out. Worker-wise, Purple Wave doing work. Ooh, and these goons tripping some mines. That's... Oh, and now sweeping some mines as well with the help of these observers. So Purple Wave being in control of this game. Crazy's only got a handful of vultures out. They haven't got all that many mines. And Purple Wave's already on orbit. Wow, that's really... Well, nothing in production yet, but that's really fast orbit attack of only 2 bases. And I wonder if that is a wise play versus Crazio, because although Crazio's only got 42 army supply, the army value is very high. There is a lot of tanks, and if I'm not very much mistaken, here we go. +1/+1 simultaneously being upgraded. That is going to be hellish for just gateway units to deal with, even if they've got support as from an Arbiter, and if I'm not very much mistaken, that flashing on this Stargate indicates that we'll soon have that Arbiter. Now Crazio starting the 3rd, and I think that, yes, there we go, you can't let that slip by as a Protoss. And Crazio now behind the impressive minefield. That's a beautiful pattern. Not as symmetrical as Ice Labs, but oh, there we go. Some Zealots coming in for some damage, but they basically get absorbed. And although Purple Wave's 30 supply ahead, I think that in the long run it's not sustainable to fight tanks and vultures with gateway units just like that. Now Crazio bringing up 1 tank to the 3rd, and the 3rd is up. The vulture is having a field day, but now getting stuck on the probes, and the probes kill it mercilessly. Well, who wouldn't? If you could kill a probe, vulture as a probe, I would do it too. So this looks to be a little bit off, I don't know why. But there you go. So army supply of Protoss is tanking heavily. And that's mainly because these Zealots, they get slaughtered a lot and they don't get much in return. And that's even without the tanks rolling out. Crazio used to do games with such an incredibly high tank count, but now it's a little bit lower, and which grants the army a little bit more mobility. Oh, and a nice stasis. Very well done, sir. But the Protoss army, where is it? It's a little bit here and there, and another Arbiter, and all kinds of stuff flapping about. And taking more bases. That's... Oh, I missed how that mine was dispelled over here. That might have been interesting to see. And now the Protoss army is on the march, but this is just a death choke. You are never going to get into there with just gateway units. You'll need... Oh dear, and the Protoss army is taking such a beating. A couple of tank shots, a couple of vulture runs, and a couple of tank blasts, and that's half of the Protoss army just damaged or dead. And this vulture over here is keeping checks on things, and 3 arbiters, but there is no kind of a game plan. It's just bring your units into range and get them killed. That's not how it's done. You should try and do something about this base over here, or harass over there. Crazio, though, is building a lot of turrets, playing very defensive, and although a lot of stases are going down, this is Purple Wave's problem. Purple Wave's getting nothing done. It's just ignoring all the colonies. Here, please, kill it. It's just theirs for the taking, but instead they try to go after the turrets and the bunker and the tank god stasis, and I think that's going to do okay for the time being, but it's always the hard targets which are being engaged, and this dropship is not getting anything done. A couple of gateways at the expansion, I like that. One here as well. An island map not yet taken. Crazio taking this base over here, and Crazio is just been given too much time, and these Protoss units are not going to get anything done, just attacking one at a time at strange locations, and Crazio with a handful of tanks and supporting units can defend so much versus these indecisive Protoss gateway units. And that is really the ball is with, yeah, that's a lot of units, but it's all more of the same. A couple of High Templars might work wonders, but would actually have to work wonders because there is so much killing going on, and Crazio's army is now double that of Purple Waves, and Crazio is harassing over here. Crazio is fighting units over there. It's defending with one Vulture and a couple of SCVs over here. Crazio is just all over the place, and Purple Wave's got a tiny army which is caught up on mines, on stray tanks. It's just very hard to get any decisive action going from this Protoss army, and Crazio is going to roll out with a small expeditionary force and with a lot of tanks just stamps this base into the ground very quickly. Meanwhile, taking this base over here, just plopping down a lot of buildings. It's maxed, so why bother, and just sealing off this base from the outside world. Island maps untouched for both players. And Purple Wave is going to suffer. Crazio maxed. Oh, that's pretty nice. A lockdown Arbiter. How often do you see that? Unfortunately, no fighting units. And Purple Wave's got no army left. So Crazio still in a red-hot form. And let's hop into the next game, because there is still so much more. After this game, I've still got 4 top-level macro games from the looks of it. And this is going to be Kudus against TSEMU Random. TSEMU Random rolling as a Terran. TSEMU, once when he was new, hit the scene, swept the floor with everyone with his Terran bot. Then came the Zerg, which did the same thing, and when the Protoss was released, exactly the same thing happened. Then TSEMU spent a lot of time on this OpenBW project, of which we got the replay viewer, and of course there is an IDE which is not really working yet, I believe. So, but it's a beautiful project, and even this functionality with the replay viewer, just high definition, and I can cast it wherever I want. So I'll need to have the game installed, but it's very, very beautiful, especially for high definition casting. Which is a bit of a mess considering the old graphics drivers that Brood War is using actually, so it's very hard to get a cast of that with a modern broadcasting software. So this is a bit of a strange situation. Yes, finally the Vultures turn and fight, while the Zealots are just moving and trying to kill infantry. Of course, infantry is not your problem. Oh, and the tank gets caught between the Zealots. The Zealots don't even attack it. And Kudus is doing something very strange, throwing away a lot of units. And TSEMU, I wish I could say it's playing brilliantly, but it's just doing what it ought to, just killing the Zealots when they come, and the Zealots don't really do that much, and I wonder what the hell Kudus is doing. Just building Zealots of one base, that's a really wacky build order, especially versus a slugger like TSEMU. And TSEMU, well, taking its sweet time, building a natural, having not even built an armory yet, going for the academy, just camping happily in the natural, slowly making its way up the ramp with the tank for support, not even using siege mode, not even bringing any SCVs for repair, and now going into a full-scale brawl with the goons, with the siege tank for some suppressing fire, and there you go. The Kudus in a world of trouble, and I really wonder what the game plan was this game. It's just not good. And of course the Kudus is clearing the game with the defender's advantage, and the paucity of TSEMU's army in combat value, that may well be explained, but it's now 2 versus 1 base, and as a Protoss you definitely do not want that. And now TSEMU is out there again with vultures, with mines. Are there observers? No. Why? Of course not. So the Kudus is in an even harder spot, now playing Minesweeper with a pure gateway army, and that goes like this. And that is, well, it's a very joyous sight for any Terran fans, but I can't really see the Kudus winning lots of games with this style of play. And TSEMU just building the occasional vulture, laying a couple of mines, back at home. How the hell did an SCV get into here? That's pretty... Oh, perhaps the factory flew over here. You can... Oh, we've got more flying factories. And TSEMU taking a base over here. Coming in for some more, and this time Kudus hasn't got the economy to support even. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, it's not good at all. There is a lot of tech, there are observers now, but there is no combat, there's no army. It's 11 versus 34 army supply. And TSMU is all over this. The third, in a very strange location, is nearly up. The power generators have been demolished, and the factories are buzzing happily away in their new locations. And I really wonder what the hell is going on. TSMU upgrading a little bit, building some spare buildings over here. That's going to be factory, surely. Oh no, the science facility. Oh no, for a moment I thought that, oh, the poor Bengala was being attacked by this vile wraith. And, well, the siege is still on, but I can't really see the Kudus getting out of it. And here come the probes. And, yeah. That's all, I think. So, GG. Next game up. So, I think it was Dillian who said, well, cast Steamhammer versus Crazio. It was great, and I saw a game which was about 2 megabytes in the size of a replay, so I thought, well, that should be it. I hope it is it, because I didn't get a game number or a link or whatever, and I'll do my best, and hopefully this is a good game. So, Steamhammer going for the expand. Oh, and a scouting probe, a drone as well. Hatch first, then a pool, always a good idea, and Crazio is going for a bunker on the high ground, which I think is a good decision versus a Zerg. You might always run into a kind of a 4-pool. Oh, and the drone gets by, that's sloppy-ish. And then kills itself on its way round the block. Third base started by Steamhammer, and these Zerglings, they should not... There is a bunker over there, don't run in all the time, please. Well, the bunker might have been... Oh, and finally, oh, they're just sitting on the edge so tightly. And again, they run in and get themselves killed. Crazio with a fire bat. And I think that if you are going to see a lot of Zerglings, that's a good plan. And surely Steamhammer should be wiser than to build more Zerglings right now. It's just not worth it. Here comes the Spire. Oh, it's going to be a 3-hatch thing, is it? And Crazio is slowly fortifying the natural with a bunker and a turret. And here comes the command center. And I think that if you've got good decision making on your muters, well, this is a nice way, a line of defense. Couple of turrets here, because this way is still relatively open. Oh, and here come the muters. Let's watch them in detail. I'll select them all. I've got any upgrades yet? Yo, +1 air armor started, +1 weapons for the marines is there. And is that going to be a 4th base? And oh, there another loss, and that's so sloppy because that turret is static. It is not going to go anywhere if you lose muters to a turret. There is no excuse for that, and this muter micro isn't as sharp as I ever saw Jaedong or July Zerg play. And this is just taking so much fire and not even... Oh, well, killing 1 marine. Oh, 2 marines and the medic. But they need a lot of muters to be somewhat of... Ah, God, no. Ah, that's just so painful. All them... And they're coming in again. Oh, why? Please. Yes, you kill a marine, you kill a medic almost, and then take more damage from a static bunker. Why is... I never understood why that is so hard for an AI to just not take damage from some static buildings. Like, again, just nothing's happening. They're just mulling about. And another full spread of the bunker. Why? Why? 4th base is there. Crazio's army is puny. It's really puny. Crazio building all kinds of tech buildings, and Steamhammer is slowly wasting his muters on a turret and a bunker. Crazio's building so many buildings, hardly any army at all, and Steamhammer's got 4 bases up and running. Hasn't got the most hatcheries, lots of money in the bank. So with more hatcheries you could have more drones, more of an army, more of everything. Oh, and the 5th base already. And these muters, oh god. Now, Crazio's got 20 army supply, that's double that of Steamhammer, which is good. Also, Crazio's got a good defense, got medic, got marines, got this nice hybrid anti-air composition, but... this, I don't know. I really don't know what to think of it. Oh, and the lurker is going to burrow and get killed for no good reason. Couple of shots on the Goliaths, and Yeah. Steam Hammer lucky there that there are no tanks. Trading Goliaths for Vultures, I don't know. Oh, if you got the map, that's a good trade, probably. Here comes the first tank with the science vessel overhead. I think that Lurker thing is going to be stopped and shot to pieces pretty quickly. Lurkers can't even burrow. The Lurker Micro isn't there. They just run up to the enemy and burrow in range. That's not... it could be better. So, yeah, this is how you waste a lot of mutas and a lot of Lurkers. So, a Steam Hammer doing what it can. Meanwhile, taking the entire map, that should be noted. It's got 74 workers, and Crazio is now only now moving out on the map with these vultures. And these lurkers, they do kill some stuff occasionally, so that's good. And we've got a lot of Hydras over here, one tank, and the Hydras just sit there over at the foot of the ridge and just taking damage. It's... Wow. It's a mystery. It's really a mystery to me why this is happening. It's just this tank must have so many kills, it's just completely beyond me. What the hell are we seeing? Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. What is going on in this game? It is completely beyond me. And there we go. Lots and lots of Hydra Ling all over the place. Now Crazier thinks, oh yeah, let me move out, I'll kill something. And Steam Hammer taking more bases all across the map. Crazio is going to take down this base. I'm going to speed it up just a notch because this is going to take forever at this rate. Crazio hasn't got has got a third yet. The main is getting low, so might just as well. Building lots of turrets, and Steam Hammer has got some army, but it's throwing it all away, and I cannot see why with a single Defiler that might be completely doable. Oh, finally, here come the Lings. Ta-da! Here come the Lings! And the Lings, they retreat while they were in reach of the siege tanks, which is completely bizarre, but it was a good march while it lasted. And here come some more Lings. And the Lurkers burrow in range of the buildings, and Crazio just lost his base over here. The natural is getting low. This base is taken and well defended by the Expeditionary Force, but Steam Hammer is producing units from everywhere and is sometimes fighting with them. So that's pretty good, isn't it? Now, Steam Hammer has got Ultras, haha, and all the upgrades in the world. Crazio's got some upgrades too, but hasn't even got Spider Mines yet, oh we're. And Steam Hammer is just building everything, just not attacking and just taking lots of damage. And just, God. Ah, here they come. Zerglings! And they kill stuff. So that's basically what the game is with Zerg. Just build Zerglings, attack, and try not to lose your main and your natural in the process. But Crazio without that... Oh, it's got this base over here, so that might be good. But the army of Crazio is relatively small and with only one base and a lot of Zerglings, well, thinned out batch of Zerglings in the main, but still... Oh, and Lurkers on the ramp, that might be a good trick. And the natural was saved. So now it's 75 workers and double the army supply and the map versus, well, 0 bases because this one is a goner. And finally Steam Hammer took the game in a little bit of time. But still, taking the game of Crazio is no mean feat, and Crazio trying to do... I don't know, what can Crazio do? It's just... You can harass more, but Steam Hammer played this pretty well, very cautiously, but macroed perfectly, well, just letting the army creep up to here and then stabbing over there. I think I underestimated this game. Steam Hammer played pretty well, and I really can't say what Crazio could have done better. So I'm a little bit harsh sometimes. Sorry. Beautiful game. So, oh god, how many games of Crazio have we got? Oh, this is the last one. And after this I got 2 more games, so last game of Crazio today, and TSMU Random here playing as the Zerg. So earlier, of course, last game we saw TSMU. Now we saw Crazio and Microwave, hey! And, oh no, it's not Microwave, Steam Hammer, god. Okay. And this is how you fall to a whatever pool. How many you've got? 4 pool. Ha! Yeah, there you go. So TSMU can do it all. The workers are AFK and the Marines are all dead. And that is the game. Oh god. Okay, next, Kudus versus Banana Brain. And Kudus used to win this quite heavily, and did I get this game recommended, or I don't know. So, Kudus versus Banana Brain. The macro games are pretty good this day, I must say. I'll be looking forward so much to the replays, all the commentated games of CIG. I don't know if anyone's going to do that, but that would be very, very beautiful. And Kudus starting out with the nice Sim City. Banana Brain going for a little bit of cheese, looks like, but that's not that many cheese, and especially not if there are 2 cannons and nice Sim City and some fighting units at the natural already. Here we go. So perhaps it's going to try and bust the wall and then slip the DTs inside. Here comes one going for the turret, and the other one dies as well. Kudus holding the base like a champion. The natural is up and running. Worker-wise, they are dead even. Banana Brain's got a little bit more tech, but I think that is soon to be remedied by Kudus. Kudus is going for the, not for the throat, but going for some map control. And every time it does that, I think, yeah, there we go. You can just wait for it. Try to move out on the map and take a base behind that, because if the enemy is going to push, you know it, and you've got a lot of time to either cancel the base or reinforce it. Now Banana Brain being a little bit on the back foot. Army-wise, it's okay, but Kudus has just got this map control thing going, and the 3rd base is brewing right back there at home. Upgrade-wise, goon range for both players, and that's about it. And now we are going to have to find out who is going to win. Nice observer there by Kudus. Kudus has got the 3rd up and running. No workers there yet. Banana Brain, oh, this is so tight. Banana Brain starting a 3rd as well. And this game will be decided on micro, I feel. Kudus, oh, in workers they are dead even. In army they are dead even. But I feel that Banana Brain is just this little bit behind, and Kudus going for the +1 versus the leg speed of Banana Brain, and I feel for any Protoss really +1 is a major boon to have. Ooh, Banana Brain though with a couple of good snipes, and Kudus very hesitant to fight, taking another base, no Gosu tech coming up. Banana Brain dishing out a lot of damage, translating itself into a 15 army supply lead. The goons of Kudus are balking out big time. 3rd for Banana Brain is up, and although Kudus has started 4th, the real problem is, and I say that too much, but the real problem is that its goon army is now stuck, and they are moving back up the ramp, and they are not really fighting, and you can see that Banana Brain has got this 50 supply lead and is going to shut down the upgrades. That was... no, there was nothing really. So now the upgrade advantage is for Banana Brain, and Banana Brain is going to shut down the natural, immediately going for the main nexus, not bothering with the workers just as yet. And there you go, lots of bases, but all the production is here, and the army of Kudus is very, very hesitant. And the waiting is for the death knell to strike. Banana Brain's goons are all over this, and oh, what the... no, Kudus dropping the ball. These goons are just... oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. What the... that is not good at all. Just running the gauntlet, and that is just very painful. Banana Brain running away with this game. Last upgrade is so very powerful. There is a DT out here trying to harass, but of course with 2 cannons, what can you do but take a couple of swipes at stray probes and zealots. Now the main base is in great jeopardy. Kudus trying to rebuild over here. That might be a possibility. But Banana Brain is now so far ahead. We've got Storm. Have you got Templars somewhere? Haven't got Templars, so it's okay to have Storm if the enemy hasn't. But once this main base thing is lost for Kudus, it's going to be over, and over right quick. This base got sacked as well by a small compartment. Banana Brain attacking in 2 places at once. I didn't know it could do that, but that's very good to see. And there you go. Oh, Banana Brain, you beautiful monster. You might do something about that DT, but that's about the only thing I can I can castigate you for this game. We've got the Arbiter, have we got Dark Templars? Oh, we've got one. So, oh, and bring it to the battle as well. Oh, and the Storm. So that's... Banana Brain is a player to watch out for, and this Observer is going to be all on its own DT, so both low. So, last game for today, and this was again a recommendation by Dillian. It's Banana Brain versus, and I'll focus on Banana Brain while I'll brush my hands in the air for some commentary, things you can't see right now. Banana Brain, we saw smack down the Kudus. That is no mean feat, because the Kudus was in number 2 a long time just behind Ironbot. Very, very, very good player. Banana Brain turned into a veritable monster with excellent decision making, combat micro and macro to back it up like a champion. TSCMU random. I heard rumors that he was beating everyone from Crazio, so I didn't see that yet. Well, he beat Crazio with a 4 pool, so that's not... Well, I suppose that counts as beating Crazio, but it's not really what I was hoping to see. So now TSCMU Protoss versus Banana Brain Protoss, and Banana Brain Protoss is not really as much a surprise as TSCMU Protoss. TSCMU Protoss is at least 1/3 of a surprise. So let's see how this game is going to unfold. Similar building build orders, and TSCMU is going for a bit of an adventure in the middle of the map with some goons, and I dare say that might be a good decision, because although the Zealots are a little bit low, if you got this goon advantage, it might snowball out of control very quickly. Banana Brain, ooh, it's a good thing those goons of TSCMUs didn't pursue the issue there, because if you threw up a natural and there were goons coming, that meant you have a lot less resources at your disposal for defensive units, and TSCMU is hugging the main nexus for reasons best known to itself, and now the nexus in the natural for Banana Brain is nearly up, and although TSCMU's got this small army advantage, the goon numbers are just about equal, and the first one runs into a lot of fire and dies immediately without getting anything in return. Banana Brain, smelling blood, going after TSCMU's bruised goons, and a couple of Zealots are pretty low as well. But not overextending, because Banana Brain's got the advantage, taking... Oh, and here come the DTs. Where is the detection? Is there detection? Is there anything? There isn't even a rover bay. There are a couple of cannons. So perhaps if the pylon goes up here and you place a couple of cannons, this base might be relatively safe. But TSCMU is in a good shape with all these Dark Templars. And these cannons, if they are cannons, they are not in time. The DTs immediately go after them, so I think the natural is going to be forfeit. And this cannon over here is the DTs. What are they doing? Is it going to be cannon? Even if this is going to be cannon... Oh, the pylon's down, so that doesn't matter. And now TSCMU not wasting any time. There is an observer overhead, but there is just so much firepower for TSCMU. 22 supply, but with the cannon, I think perhaps Banana Brain might hold if it weren't to transfer all these stupid workers to the... This is not a safe place. Not to hold discussions on the subject of whatever. I'm not going to infuriate anybody else but the people who love safe spaces. Oh dear, TSCMU, you could have taken down this nexus and been golden. Now with the third base you are doing okay. Worker lead 2-1, doing pretty well there as well, but with the natural in... If this had been raised, that might have been so much better still. And what did you get? What did you gain from roaming your army around here? Nothing. And that is something that players, AI players, sometimes forget, that it's a good thing to take down enemy town halls, nexuses. Oh god, not again. It's nexuses, hatcheries, and the like, and of course command centers. So TSCMU now mopping up the remnants of Banana Brain's army. Banana Brain was doing masterfully, but really was too late with that with the observer. And now TSCMU's got 32 versus 7 army supply. And although there are a couple of cannons, TSCMU now starting the 4th base. The worker lead is still substantial. Workers being evacuated. These cannons are going to be all for it again. The pylon is going to go down before the cannon again, and perhaps this time the Nexus will be engaged. Yes, sometimes half-heartedly, but I think that this world is going to be an ever unsafer place for Banana Brain to live in. And TSCMU is going to TSMU, just back up that brilliant micro and good use of cheese with a... wow, that's just laying down the law. And Banana Brain recovered the natural. It's okay, the natural still didn't get killed off, but TSMU just let it come out of it like a clam out of a shell and then lob off any protrusions and then do some more damage. And of course a lot of goons get damaged here, and once they reach the cannons they are going to take more damage. But in the end it's a foregone conclusion that Banana Brain will lose this game because the natural is down. TSMU is on 4 mining bases. And, oh, we've got a Reaver coming up as well. Upgrade-wise, they are not evading them each other by that much, but now TSMU is going after the natural Nexus for good. No, doesn't look like it. So, yeah. There we go, and there goes the main Nexus. That's a dreadful pity, at least for Banana Brain, which we saw play so well versus the Kudus, and it's really good to see TSMU back with a little bit of upgrade. It's just a bit more fresh, and of course the genius of TSMU is that he can make anything work. I've seen the most ludicrous things. I need not repeat it because I dwell on TSMU's brilliance so much. You must be bored by it by now. So TSMU going for the throat, going in for the kill. The natural is down, the 5th base is started. The Reaver is slowly crawling up to the main base. Oh, there is one over here. So that's the GG. I wish everyone in the CIG good luck and lots of fun. We'll be watching. This was this week's broadcast. I hope to see you again next week. For now, thanks for watching and goodbye.